this is Mugdha Pradhan. I'm the CEO and founder of iThrive. I'm a functional nutritionist and I'm here today to talk about stories of healing from the humans of iThrive. Now, this is a story from the high-stakes world of Bombay's consulting circles. Leah was a pro at solving everyone else's problems. But inside her own body, there was something massive going on. Since 2011, she was feeling this constant state of sickness. She had chronic edema, she had high HbA1c levels, she had fibroids developing all of the time, and despite a dose of 100 mg of Thyronorm, she never really recovered from her thyroid issues. Not just that, when we actually did her health history, we found that she had a history of recurring jaundice that kept relapsing since 1994. You know, this wasn't just like bad luck with health, it really felt like a crime scene inside her body. So when Leah came to iThrive, right, we didn't do like a 5-minute prescription. We never do that. We never do this pills for life approach. What we did is we went really forensic with the approach. We went and did our root cause analysis, which is basically using her blood tests to understand what was going on. So we tracked all of the chaos that was going on in her body, looking at markers that went beyond the CBC. We actually did like a gut mapping protocol for her. We looked at her antibodies. We found a lot of pathogens that were there in her body that were triggering her chronic health condition. So what we did, now we were not just looking at reports, we started looking for clues within the reports, and what we found was a really sophisticated, how do I put it, a network of internal saboteurs. Now these things sitting in her body, so there was inflammation, there was insulin resistance, there was a very high viral load from a virus called the EBV, and that EBV was triggering her thyroid problems. Okay, so she had like a 7.5 kg weight gain, she had constant autoimmune flare-ups, she would drink socially, she would order in a lot of food because after work she'd just be so tired to kind of even not make food and eat. And these silent infections, this EBV, also known as the Epstein-Barr virus, was constantly stealing her energy. So when we did her blood work, we also found a lot of deficiencies which were kind of stealing her vitality. She didn't have the energy to do whatever she needed to do because her body didn't even have the raw material inside it. So when we did her RCA and when we found out there was so much chaos going on, we really kind of triaged and we decided what are the first few things we were going to do. So the first few things we focused were on anti-inflammatory foods or removing all inflammatory food from her entire diet, which meant no more Chinese food because we cut out gluten, dairy and sugar, and we asked her to start eating at home. Now, along with cleaning up her diet and along with making sure she was not eating foods that would trigger autoimmunity, we actually brought in supplements that supported her body's needs. Okay, so a lot of essential supplements were brought in, and then we optimized her circadian rhythm. So we kind of made sure she was getting sunlight exposure in the morning. We got her to wear blue light blockers, really cool stuff, so that she would not be exposed to blue light in the evenings post sunset. We got her to do breath work. We got her to do kind of a lot of grounding based work, which is basically you're walking barefoot on earth. We wanted to get her circadian system working well first, because once the circadian alignment happens, that kind of allows your nervous system to go into a parasympathetic or a relaxed mode, which then helps the body with your healing process. Then we launched what we call as our special ops viral protocol. Basically, we wanted to neutralize this chronic infection that was there in her body, the Epstein-Barr virus. So we brought in a lot of herbs and antivirals. Now, this was the Leah that came to us when she picked iThrive, right? She was tired, she was exhausted, she would have all of this water retention thing going on, she was gaining weight, thyroid medicines weren't really helping. She was tired of being on medication all of the time. She just wanted a medicine-free life, okay? Basically, what she was looking for was a life where she could live with full vitality, independent of medicines, and kind of have control on her body. Because I remember this, and in fact, even in the Wellness Warrior show, she spoke about this, that how she felt about her body was she no longer felt at home, and she no longer felt like she had control on her body. So when we did that, when we supplemented her, when we cleaned up her diet, when we made sure she was eating at home and eating home cooked food even in office and not doing all the Chinese takeout that she was doing, and we actually asked her to cut down on alcohol protocol completely because given that she had struggled with recurring jaundice for so many years, the liver needed a lot of support. So we did a lot of work on helping the liver work the way it's supposed to. Okay, so we did like a deep 9-day detox protocol, and honestly I think I remember her saying this, like the last day of the detox protocol was literally one of the best for her because she felt so light and she felt so revitalized and she felt so rejuvenated, and she could have done that water fast for many more days. Of course, we wouldn't recommend water fasting beyond a single day, but the supplementation, the food, all the lifestyle interventions, the quantum biology principles of grounding, sunlight exposure, blue light blocking, sleeping on time, it changed that Leah. Okay, the Leah who had come to us was a different Leah 6 months later. The leg swelling gone, the cravings that she was having gone, energy levels restored. This is the power of functional nutrition. We don't just treat the disease, we rewrite the narrative of your physical health. If you're a decision maker, a leader, someone who's in a high stakes role, who's just tired of managing your health like it's a liability, it's time you start treating it like an investment. Okay, क्योंकि your body is supposed to support you with everything you want to do in life. Your body is meant to be the story that you tell the world about how you've lived life. And if you want to become the next healing story from the humans of iThrive, reach out to us and we'd be happy to help you.